Hawaii's energy goal is simple. 40% of our power must come from renewable energy by the year 2030. And while that may seem like a long while off, the journey has already begun. Businesses are opting for more efficient energy use as a way to cut costs, and residents are beginning to comprehend that what they do or don't do today will affect tomorrow. A wise use of resources now will ensure we have energy today and tomorrow.
Aloha! Welcome to Energy Today, today's technology and energy for you. I'm Valen, and in this episode, we'll be heading out to Halawa Valley to learn about an alternative method of landscaping that is really catching on, called Xeriscaping. Then, we'll be going to the John A. Burns School of Medicine to find out more about an annual eWaste disposal initiative organized by the University of Hawaii. But first, let's check in with Darren Pai of HECO and see what's happening over there at their facility in Campbell Industrial Park.
We live in paradise. Natural beauty surrounds us. But paradise comes with a hefty price. As the population grows, our energy needs increase and our resources dwindle. Now, we are not only concerned about our power use, but we're conscious of the type of energy we seek. We need a renewable energy source to preserve our tropical paradise. So why is our first interview with Hawaiian Electric Company? Because the utility company realizes that everyone must be a part of the solution.
In order to reach our clean energy goals as a company and for our state, we need as many clean energy resources online as possible. That includes solar power, wind power, more geothermal energy. We need everything here in Hawaii. So really, everybody has an interest in trying to see solar energy succeed as much as possible.
Hawaiian Electric Company, or HECO, doesn't just talk, it's using solar energy at its own facility at Campbell Industrial Park.
You know, it really makes sense to take advantage of the abundant sunshine we have here in Hawaii. Like here at Campbell Industrial Park, we were looking at installing a covering at our parking structure, and we decided, why not take advantage of the sunshine here at the same time, put in some solar panels, work with our partners in the solar industry, and help make our greenest power plant just a little bit greener. It just makes sense. It's the right thing for us as a company. It's really the right thing for us as a state and the community to try and support solar power as much as possible.
HECO contracted Island Pacific Energy to install the 128 kilowatt 450 photovoltaic panel system to shade the plant's parking structure. But even before going solar, the HECO plant at Campbell Industrial Park was already an example of the company's commitment to renewable energy. The West Oahu facility is the highest capacity generating station in Hawaii, producing 120 megawatts, and the facility runs entirely on biodiesel fuel.
It's a green fuel, it's not a fossil fuel, and that means that by taking advantage of solar power to run some of the routine operations here, we're making this plant just a little bit greener.
The Campbell Industrial Park facility also uses non-potable recycled water for all its industrial operations. The sun's power is so intense, why not harness the energy from such an abundant resource? HECO has embraced this energy source and is watching the interest in solar power increase tremendously in the islands.
We know there's a lot of interest out there. We've seen the demand just grow exponentially year after year, and 2012 looks like it's going to be the biggest year for solar in Hawaii ever.
HECO promoted electric cars as a way for Hawaii to lessen its dependence on fossil fuel. That idea is steadily being accepted, but still not mainstream. However, the interest in solar power has spread rapidly among residents and businesses alike.
Businesses of all sizes have been interested in photovoltaic power for a while. Some have a lot of rooftop space, and so they've been looking to try and take advantage of that. It really depends on the individual situation, whether a business has the rooftop space or the space available to, look into photovoltaic power.
When it was first introduced, homeowners weren't exactly warming up to the concept of solar, mainly because of the upfront costs.
There are upfront costs, to investing in any type of system like this. You really have to figure out what's going to work for you.
Pai says the marketplace has changed and there are now a lot of different financing options for homeowners who want to proceed with installing solar panels.
There's a lot of different business models that the solar companies are using, and they're trying to help customers by offering them solutions that work for them.
So, now the rush is in full swing and photovoltaic panels are popping up everywhere. Drawing energy from the sun is gaining wide acceptance among homeowners. Developers who build homes with photovoltaic panels are appealing to home buyers' environmental consciousness, as well as their quest to save money. But for those who already own their homes and are thinking about installing solar panels, navigating through the maze of solar companies can be confusing.
There's a lot of different options out there, so we really encourage people to do their research and to work with the solar installers, get multiple bids from multiple contractors, and figure out what's going to work for your particular situation.
When searching for a solar contractor, you need to know what questions to ask. Pi has a couple of suggestions right off the bat.
There's a lot of companies out there, but you want to look for somebody, an established company that's been in business, and you want to look for somebody who has an electrical contractor's license. We also want people to really think about what they're looking for, how much energy they want to produce. Make sure that you're getting a system that's of the right size.
For more information on your solar quest, HECO has set up a website, www.goingsolar.heco.com.
Has a lot of resources and information there, links to instructional videos, and just a lot of things that can help you, guide you through the process of making your decision.
Electrical power, solar, wind, geothermal, HECO plans to tap into the energy source wherever it can.
We have among the most aggressive clean energy goals you'll find anywhere in the country. We want to reach 40% clean energy by 2030. That's what's required by law, but as a company, we want to get to 100%. When you want to get to 100%, you can't say no to anything.
The popularity of solar power or any other type of renewable energy source won't diminish Hawaiian Electric Company's importance as a thriving utility company in Hawaii. There will always be a role for HECO.
Our role is to try and make sure that the energy gets to people, when they need it, and make sure it's reliable and consistent and safe for everyone. So that means we're looking to try and integrate all these different clean energy resources, whether it's wind farms or solar panels, and make sure that we can get it into the grid and out to customers so that it's reliable and it's there when they need it.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Our energy needs probably won't wane, but our ability to seek out renewable resources will be key in sustaining our island lifestyle. And we'll learn how to use our energy today for a better tomorrow.
When we come back, we'll be taking a trip over to the Board of Water Supply Xeriscape Garden in Halawa. All that and more after this. Welcome back. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the Halawa Xeriscape Garden. Owned by the Board of Water Supply, this garden serves as a hub of knowledge where visitors can learn more on water conservation. Don't believe me? Take a look.
Veritania Street. This major Oahu thoroughfare is home to many notable Honolulu landmarks such as the State Capitol, Washington Place, the Academy of Arts, and police headquarters. And at the corner of Lisbon and Veritania lies the Honolulu Board of Water Supply. For decades now, this agency has been at the forefront of allocating Oahu's water reserves and ensuring that residents are getting the amount of water needed for everyday practices. Kurt Sue, Information Officer for the Board of Water Supply, was gracious enough to give us some additional insights into this invaluable entity.
The Board of Water Supply is a semi-autonomous agency of the City and County of Honolulu. Our goal is to provide a safe and dependable water supply to the entire City and County of Honolulu area. We maintain and take care of the municipal water system. We make sure that the water that we serve to our about 1 million customers here on Oahu is safe to drink. And of course, we have some challenges ahead of us regarding the maintenance and the care for our water system going forward. One of the Board of Water Supply's biggest goals is water efficiency, which is, and we've been pushing this messages for years, which is basically use the water you need, but don't waste it. So what we try to do is to encourage our customers to do everything that they possibly can to make sure that the water they use is being used efficiently. we've done a lot of studies and people have been doing a great job in conserving water indoors. But what we've noticed is that actually a lot of people don't know that they're using a lot of water outdoors, which is why we've put a lot of energy now in our outdoor water conservation program, which is what we're here today to kind of talk about.
Within Halawa Valley, just a mile off the H1 freeway on Oahu, lies the Halawa Xeriscape Garden. Home to many different types of native plants and grasses, this beautiful oasis was opened in September 1989 as a way to teach Oahu residents methods of conserving water in gardens, lawns, and landscaped areas.
We're here right now at the Halawa Xeriscape Garden here at the property of our Halawa pumping station. And what this area is basically to show people in the community that about this technique known as xeriscaping, which is basically conserving water through efficient landscaping. By incorporating techniques, xeriscaping techniques, people can save up to 50% on their water bills. And xeriscaping is a combination of various types of techniques, not incorporating things like unthirsty plants.
The many types of plants housed at the garden can be described as being xeric, or having adapted to a dry environment and conditions. These unthirsty plants are the ideal species used for xeriscaping. Diane Moses, community relations specialist at the garden, says there are certain characteristics that make a plant xeric.
This is natal plum, and this plant has several xeric characteristics. The first one would be thorns. This has some major thorns going on. Plants with thorns don't require a lot of water. It also has waxy leaves. Plants that have a waxy leaf, the film covers the pores and it prevents or slows down transpiration from the plant. Therefore, the plant doesn't need as much water. The other xeric characteristic is tiny leaves. Plants with small leaves don't require a lot of water either. Okay, here we have native acacia. First clue is any plant that's native is going to be less thirsty, especially so if it's planted in the right place. So that's our first clue. Our second clue is small, tiny leaves. These are real waxy leaves. So that's 3 clues already. The fourth clue is going to be the thick stalks. If you look down in here, they're just like almost like a plumeria stalk. And so any plant that has a thick stalk is going to be less thirsty. Here we have our jade plant, and we've already learned about small waxy leaves and thick stalks. But now this one's going to have an extra on it. It's got puffy leaves. And the puffy leaves, it's like their own water supply. The leaves actually hold water, and you can see it dripping down. So on a hot summer day when all the other plants are struggling, this plant's got its own water source. Our olive tree. The kids really like the way this one looks, and every time you touch it, it's always going to feel like it's in an air conditioner. It has shiny leaves to reflect the heat, xeric point. And then if you look at these, they're kind of silvery. The silvery reflects the heat. So this plant in the dead heat of summer will always feel cool to the touch. More and more hotels will be are using these kinds of plants because they require very little care and you don't need to water them so much. They have their own water systems. In the middle is a little cup that fills with water. As you can see, we can go ahead and pour it out. And so they really hold their own water. They have shiny leaves, waxy leaves, which we already said holds back transpiration. But they also have little thorns on the end, almost like a little tiny bee stinger. So again, that's another characteristic, a plant with thorns, and that it holds its own water. So those 3 right there. They also call this the mosquito plant. And what we tell people in your garden, you should plant it in an area where you get a lot of breeze. The mosquitoes can't land and lay their larvae. If you don't know where that windy spot in your yard is, you can go ahead and put 1 or 2 drops of cooking oil or any kind of oil right on the top, and the film forms and the mosquitoes can't lay their larvae. They'll fly somewhere else. They'll go to your neighbor's house with the coffee can full of water.
It's clear from Diane's little tour that the garden offers many interesting plant species for visitors to feast their eyes on, but that is not all that's offered here. Those looking to become more mindful with their water consumption can participate in workshops hosted at the garden and learn firsthand just what they can do to conserve Oahu's water supply.
One of the things that we find that works really well is face-to-face interaction with the customers, engaging people and working with them and physically demonstrating how they can save water by coming to things like workshops.
These are our spiral gardens. We actually do this in a workshop. It's a hands-on workshop where the people come in, we talk to them for a little while, come out here, and the whole class puts the spiral gardens together. They start with collecting the rocks to laying down the different layers. So basically the spiral garden is a living compost bin. It has a layer of assortment of things like cardboard, kitchen throwaways, hay, manure, planting media, and you layer it like a lasagna. They use this in third world countries so that they don't really need to travel far every day to get water to come back and do their vegetables or herbs. And what they do is they plant it higher in the middle, and gravity does all the work. So the less thirsty plants will be up on top and the more thirsty ones on the bottom, and gravity will do its own thing. When the rocks heat up, they hold moisture. When the sun comes out and heats up the rocks like it does the earth, you start to get the evaporation. Well, the plants, they get that water coming back up, so it hits all the roots. And what this one is called is a keyhole. And it's a worm bin that's built into the garden, and we come and we add our scraps in it, and the worms will eat it up. The leach from the decaying food and stuff will leach out into the garden, so we never have to fertilize it. And the worms, again, of course, their leach when it rains and we water gets out into the nutrients within the soil, and it's self-sustainable. We just feed the garden every now and then.
Water-conscious parents are also encouraged to bring their kids out to the garden for a day of activities. There is a keiki section which showcases the masterpieces of children who are starting early in their water conservation efforts.
Okay, welcome to our Xeriscapes in Halawa, Xeriscape. This is where we teach kids about recycling, the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. We've taken tires from the landfill. Actually, a tire company donated them, so it wouldn't need to go into the landfill. So our automotive guys scalloped the rim, the inner rim, turned it inside out, and gave us planters. This way you never know, you won't get mixed up with the weeds. They're all down here and the plants stay here. Every year in August, when we have our annual plant sale, the kids will go through a bunch of educational booths. And when they're all done, they present their report card, sort of, and they get a plant that they can come and plant here. We give them a stake. It has their name, the name of the plant. They learn a little bit about it, and they can come back during the year and check on their plant. We will, before the next plant sale, take these xeric plants and recycle them into our garden, and it starts all over again. So every plant in these planters are xeric. This is my favorite. This is called the goldfish plant. And when it blooms, it really looks like baby goldfish. It's starting to get a little fat there, but it does. So the nickname is the goldfish plant. It has like a big belly, very cute, very cute.
This garden is open every Wednesday and Saturday to the public from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They can come in and browse the Xeriscape garden, come to talk to us about outdoor water conservation, and we'll be happy to share that information. We also have on our website a schedule of workshops. Some are even free, and most are at minimal costs just for supplies, but all the different types of techniques that people can use at home to save water outdoors.
Coming up, we'll get to see firsthand the efforts the University of Hawaii has made so that e-waste disposal is easier for everyone. That story is coming up after this. Welcome back to the show. In this portion of the episode, We'll be taking a look at how UH has managed to make disposal of e-waste products more accessible for everyone. Got a gadget or piece of technology you don't use anymore? Well, this segment will show you how to easily get rid of that clutter. So watch this.
Parking Lot C at the John A. Burns School of Medicine in Kaka'ako played host to the 2012 Education and Government E-Waste Disposal Days. This biennial event offers Hawaii residents a cost-free way to get rid of their old and unwanted electronics. This year marks the 4th installment of the program, and Larry Wiss of the University of Hawaii will tell you firsthand that it's one people should really take advantage of.
One of the things that sets our program apart, of course, is that it's absolutely free. There's no charge, it's free of charge, there's no charging for any electronics whatsoever. Another nice thing is the fact that we know where this equipment is going and where it's going to be recycled. All of it is sent to certified centers that have been certified by the Environmental Protection Agency, that they are processing everything in a responsible, earth-friendly way. A lot of small businesses are trying to make money off of it, and so you don't know whether they're going to China, whether they're going to India, or where the electronics are going. Thanks to Apple and their sponsoring of this program, we know that they're all going to recycling centers that have been certified by the EPA, and everything is done in an earth-friendly way. All the equipment, as much as it can be, is recycled. Plastic is used, the glass is reused, which keeps us from having to mine those things, those resources out of our planet. So we're actually being green and friendly by recycling through this program.
Getting rid of your unwanted electronics is made easy with this 3-day event. All you have to do is drive on down to a drop-off site, park your car, and the location's hired staff will unload all your e-waste for you. Then you just drive off, and you're done. It's that easy.
This day was the 2nd day of our institutional drop-offs, where we've invited small businesses, schools, local government agencies, the military, and nonprofits to drop off their electronic waste, and then it's sorted and put into shipping containers and shipped to recycling centers in North America. The university is the forefront of the event, and we partner with the Department of Education, who provides one of our 7 drop-off sites over on the Big Island, and it's all courtesy of Apple. Apple provides all of the staffing and payment for the recycling.
The program accepts many different types of e-waste. However, there are some exceptions.
We say anything electronic with a plug except for appliances. We don't do any appliances or any microwaves. Primarily computers, cell phones, shredders, copiers, all different kinds of electronics. This is a little compilation of a lot of the items that have come in over the years. So we're kind of a gauge of where technology is going and how recycling is headed. We originally in 2006 when we began, we got our first iMacs, one of the first personal iMacs. That year we started getting some of the first portable computers, which is really nice. We also got some of the early telecommunications devices, the dial telephones, the punch telephones, even an Austin Powers 60s telephone. Moving on into the telephones, we got into the brick portable phones, which were really big at one time. They're brick phones. Then the small personal cell phones, which were really handheld, which were really nice. And now, of course, we're getting into all the flip phones, the slide phones, and even some of the early pagers. To this point, we haven't seen any smartphones, so none of those have been recycled yet. Going along with communications, we also have early televisions that were coming in 2006. We don't see many dial televisions coming in anymore. We went into communications with the Walkman, the Discman, and then in 2010 we start getting iPods being turned in. We haven't seen any of those this year either. Following along with the vein of communication, this time, for the first time this year, we received a Kindle. So this is 2 years old. So already our recycling of electronics is going into a 2-year cycle when it comes to things like tablets. We also have the devices for saving memory. We're getting a lot of the zip drives now, which were the floppy disks and then the zip disks. We're getting a lot of these because everyone is going into using the little flash drives nowadays. So that's kind of a gauge of where the things are that we've been collecting over the last 8 years of this program.
With technology changing every day, it's nice to know there are places like these where anyone can dispose of their old electronics. Unsure if there is a disposal location nearest you? Just consult the webpage at www.hawaii.edu/ewaste to search for all available locations.
We have 3 on this island, Jabsam. We have Windward Community College and Leeward Community College. We have Maui Community College and Kauai Community College. On the Big Island, we have UH-Hilo, and then the DOE site, which is Kealakekee High School in Kailua Kona.
The webpage also contains other useful information, such as a list of acceptable items, dates, and hours of operation. So in 2014, when this program starts up again, you might want to consider utilizing this service to get rid of the e-waste you're bound to accumulate over the next 2 years.
And that's all the time we have for you on this episode of Energy Today. Be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at the links below. And don't forget to catch us on OC16 every Mondays at 6. Aloha and stay green.